You may have noticed a table at the front, raised to call your attention to its purpose. It is reserved to honor our missing comrades in arms. Set for 5, the empty places represent our men and women still missing from each of the 5 services: Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. This honors ceremony symbolizes that they are with us here in spirit. Some were very young when they went into combat. However, all Americans should never forget the brave men and women who answered our nation's call and served the cause of freedom in a special way. The table is round to show our everlasting concern for our missing men and women. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives when answering the call of duty. The single red rose, displayed in a vase, reminds us of the life of each of the missing and the loved ones and friends of these Americans who keep the faith, awaiting answers. A slice of lemon on the bread plate is to remind us of the bitter fate of those captured and missing in a foreign land. A pinch of salt symbolizes the tears endured by those missing and their families who seek answers. The glass is inverted to symbolize their inability to share in a toast. The chair is empty. They are missing. Let us honor America's prisoners of war and those missing in action, and to the success of our efforts to account for them.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us to honor and express our sincere gratitude to our men and women in uniform, those individuals who have previously dedicated their lives and work to the armed services of the United States of America, and those who are protecting and serving their country today in countless ways to ensure our freedom and safety. On behalf of all of us at Wentworth Institute of Technology, I offer a sincere thank you to U.S. military veterans everywhere, but especially to the hundreds of servicemen and servicewomen who have chosen to be a part of the Wentworth community. Our military-affiliated alumni, current students, faculty, and staff members. This morning, I want to say just a few words about the importance of honoring our veterans before you hear from our other speakers, including Wentworth's first Director of Military Connected Services, Dr. Michael Siegel. We'll also be hearing from our new Provost, Dr. Ian Lapp, from Wentworth students Adam Bodine, Ireland Wells, and Chris Rosser, and from David Henke, Veteran Outreach Coordinator for the VA Boston Healthcare System, Director's Office of the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Even amid a health crisis like the one we are confronted with now, there are still things that we must continue to do. For example, we must continue to band together in social solidarity to protect and preserve our community and to fight and end the pandemic. We must continue to move forward in our lives, to study and learn and work together. And no matter what, we must make sure that even in times like these, we stop to honor and thank those individuals who serve in the armed forces. For all of us, recognizing the debt that we owe to our veterans is a lifelong mission, a privilege, an obligation. It isn't something we ever finish completely because we owe so much to so many. At Wentworth, our dedication to veterans is always a work in progress. We're constantly looking for the next thing we can do, but we have already made some great strides. And I'll let Provost Lapp and Dr. Siegel share that with you. Thank you.
I want to thank President Thompson for making veteran services a top priority. Under his leadership, the university will continue to be an institution where ROTC cadets and veterans can find degree programs and certificates to help them build fulfilling civilian lives. A year ago, Wentworth opened a new Veterans Lounge and Learning Space in Wilson Hall. The lounge is a place where students can interact, get to know each other, and engage in projects and activities. The designation of that space was part of the promise that the university has made to the military-affiliated members and our community in general. Today, we are also grateful for our corporate partners, who support our military-connected populations with co-op positions and employment opportunities. We are grateful to our individual donors who help to ensure that our military-connected students' needs are met. And we are mindful of the wonderful, wonderful partnership Wentworth has with the colleges of the Fenway, which are also dedicated to supporting our veterans. I recently learned from my colleagues of the scholarship that was created last year in memory of John Heinstadt. I'm delighted to share the recipient of this year's John Heinstadt Memorial Scholarship, Hersey Dorn, Civil Engineering, Class of 2023. Hersey is also one of our newest recipients of our Student Veteran ROTC scholarships. Other recipients of that scholarship are Eurico Moreno Jr., a veteran, Civil Engineering, Class of 2023, and Allison Gormley, a military family member and Interior Design, Class of 2023. Congratulations to all of you. I also want to thank the many corporate partners whose support of this year's recognition ceremony will help to bolster scholarships. These opportunities will make a big difference for our military-connected students. Our gold sponsor is Commodore Builders, and our bronze sponsor is Apollo Safety, Peabody Companies, and Winslow Technology.
I'm honored to be speaking with you today on such a significant occasion, Veterans Day. First off, I would like to thank our president, the provost, the Office of University Events, and those sponsors whose commitment to our service members have made this event possible. Today, we honor our entire military-connected community, including our family, friends, and colleagues whose unwavering support for our military is invaluable to our success. We are here to honor our service members and to remember the sacrifices they have made and the courage it takes to defend honor, duty, country. I would also like to recognize all military members and veterans worldwide, including our international students who may have served or are serving in their home country's armed forces. We are here today to honor our heroes, to remember their achievements, their courage, and their dedication, and to say thank you for their sacrifices. Thinking of the heroes with us today, and those who are here only in spirit, a person cannot help but be awed by the enormity of what we encounter. We stand among patriots and the family and friends of those who have nobly served Veterans Day. Veterans Day, originally called Armistice Day, marked a ceasefire that the Allied power signed with Germany at 11 a.m. on November 11, 1918, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. As time went on and we engaged in further conflicts during World War II in Korea, veterans groups lobbied for a change. Rather than honoring the armistice only those who served in World War I, the holiday would now honor all veterans from every war and conflict the United States encountered. We have celebrated our troops, their service, and sacrifice ever since. The service members we honor today come from all walks of life, but they share several fundamental qualities. They possess courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty, and integrity. All the qualities needed to serve a cause larger than oneself. As I reflect upon my military service in the Army, it has been my distinct honor and pleasure to have served with some of the most remarkable people I have known. Now at Wentworth, and with such a deep institutional commitment to our military, community's welfare and success, I find myself once again working alongside greatness with our students, faculty, and staff. My time here at Wentworth has only just begun, and yet I have found camaraderie among my peers, not unlike what I experienced in the military. Through the Office of Military Connected Services, I will continue to build upon the great foundation already here at Wentworth to ensure the strengths and excellence that our military-connected students have are fully supported so they may achieve the prosperous future they justly deserve. And with that, I am privileged to turn our attention to Adam Bodian, BSA Class of 24, a U.S. Marine Corps veteran and currently still serving in the Marine Corps Reserves.
Greetings, fellow veterans, cadets, and our American warrior community, and all of our friends and family who daily empower us. My name is Lieutenant Colonel David Hanka, and after retiring with 30 years of service, I'm honored to continue serving with the 54th Massachusetts Regiment, the Honor Guard Command of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Better yet, I also had the privilege of continuing to serve American warriors at one of the most empowering and life-changing organizations, aside from the Army, that I've ever known, and that is the VA Boston Healthcare System. Now, one of the stops on my life path to the Veterans Affairs was as a young ROTC cadet at the U.S. Army Airborne School at Fort Benning, Georgia. I'll never forget it. It was a sweltering hot August day when the Commandant of the Training Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Leonard B. Scott, who was a highly decorated Ranger officer and a Vietnam combat vet, pulled us all in close around him on the parade ground. And then he asked us if any of us knew the secret to life. As young cadets, soldiers, Marines, and airmen, none of us really had a clue. So then Colonel Scott yells out, "The secret to life is you gotta love it. The secret to being a good paratrooper is to love it. The secret to being a good man or a good woman is that you have to love God, take care of yourself, and you take care of those around you. And you have to stay motivated, whether you feel like it or not. When everything really stinks and you are miserable, you tell yourself and everyone around you that you love it. Because all of us, every single airborne soldier from private to general, is charged with one thing. No matter how hard the going gets, Charlie Mike, continue the mission." Well, folks, I just want to remind you that the VA is here to help all of us continue our mission in life, whatever it may be. There's almost no other blessing so powerful as lifelong care and the exceptional array of benefits that are ours just by reaching out to the VA. No one will look out for you the way that your fellow veterans and staff at the VA will, because we get it. At the VA, you're not just a patient or a customer, you're a member of our American military family. We look forward to serving you and continuing to serve with you. Charlie Mike.
Commodore Builders is proud to be a veteran-owned business. As I look back on my own service, I reflect on how so many of my military experiences were lessons in leadership and organizational strategy that have driven so much of my style and values as a Commodore. Now, these have informed our culture and who we are. Keeping the long view, seeing the bigger picture and growing our aperture, keeping a measured perspective under stressful situations, and growing future leaders and having the patience and the courage to let them learn by making their own mistakes. When people thank me for my service, I reflect to them how so much I've gained from my service and how grateful I am for what it's done for me. Now, Commodore Builders is committed to supporting veterans' causes. The New England Center Home for Veterans, Jared Allen's Home for Wounded Warriors, the Massachusetts Veterans Outreach Center, Caritas Communities, Veterans Inc., and so many others. Veterans, we are brothers and sisters in arms. We share a very special bond based on our service to our nation, a grateful nation, with the understanding that because we understand that freedom is not free, we have volunteered to serve. This is a very special distinction, and all volunteer force is one of the reasons why the United States military remains the most effective and powerful force in the world. At Commodore, we recognize that, and we value that, which is why we support programs like Wentworth's Office of Military Connected Services. On this special day, you are all to be congratulated for stepping up, for your commitment, and for your devoted service. Happy Veterans Day.
My name is Adam Bodine, and I'm currently serving as an infantry reservist in the United States Marine Corps. I initially joined the Marine Corps because I felt that I had a duty to give back to my community and nation like so many others before me. I have been able to gain a lot of experiences and life skills throughout my military career, including discipline, time management, and the will to succeed. After actively serving overseas, I came home with the goal to continue my education. I am now a first-year student at Wentworth, majoring in architecture. I chose Wentworth because of their dedication to students and their reputation within the design field. The skills I have obtained throughout my military experiences have contributed to my drive to become a more successful and passionate student. Not only that, but within my first week here at Wentworth, I was able to build relationships within the military community. Being a Marine, I have a special connection with all other Marines throughout the world. We share similar experiences that no one else can relate to. That is what makes a military family so strong, similar to that at Wentworth. Of course, Veterans Day is so much more than just another day off. I feel that many people overlook the main idea of Veterans Day and its true purpose, which is to honor and thank veterans with us today. All veterans, despite their branch of service or age, have sacrificed a part of their lives for everyone throughout the nation in hopes to keep us all safe and give us and our children a better future. For that, they deserve more than the thanks we can give them now. So, to all veterans throughout the nation, I say thank you.
On this Veterans Day, I'm reflective of the esteemed privilege and responsibility I shouldered while serving in my nation's military. I'm also reminded that our collective calling does not stop once we take off the uniform of our respective nation states. We all owe a debt to this world and one another because of the gift we've been given to live in a time when we're more interconnected and interdependent than ever. And for all of us, we need to be thankful for the opportunity to enrich our lives through intellectual pursuit while a part of the Wentworth community. That said, military service is unique in form because it requires those who abide its calling to recognize the possibility of a particularly unique sacrifice, that of your corporeal self in mortal combat. Veterans, whether they were conscripted or at least in the past 50 years in the United States, willingly volunteered, must ultimately confront their own mortality, usually for principles, ideals, borders, or resources they barely see, sometimes never even understand. They must do so knowing their ends are achieved through means requiring harm be committed against their adversary. It is this unique set of circumstances that creates an incredible brother and sisterhood to be a part of, one which I am extremely proud and humbled to be a member of alongside my fellow Wentworth vets this November 11th. Wentworth acknowledges we are all asked to serve differently, but that committing a part of your life to either preparing to leave for or returning home from war isn't easy. And the school's veterans have come here to become better humans through learning and community, not just be veterans. As such, the school spends equal time making sure we don't forget our common bond through Veterans Club activities to nurture camaraderie through shared experience, while also investing in initiatives that help us transition smoothly from the battlefield to the classroom and workplace, whether through liaising with the Department of Veterans Affairs to leverage benefits earned through our time in uniform, or offering opportunities like this one to help share our experiences and perspectives with our civilian peers. I'm hopeful that if for just one day in November, so chosen to honor the participation of the world's veterans in a war to end all wars, we're all collectively reinvigorated to do what we can, how we can, to make this world a better place for one another. Thanks, Wentworth, for remembering veterans and reminding each of us to do better today for all of us tomorrow.
Growing up with a military parent was trying, to say the least. There are the obvious reasons for it. My dad wasn't there for soccer games or big choir recitals growing up. But mostly it was because when I was young, I just could not understand why he had to leave. But as I grew up, it started to become clear, and I realized that my dad joined the armed forces because he answers to a higher call, one that demands protection of the freedoms and values upon which our wonderful nation was founded. He joined not because he wanted to be away from his home or the family for long periods of time, but because he had dedicated his life to something bigger than himself, and at the end of the day, bigger than our family. He dedicated his life to protecting America, and I could not be prouder to support him. However, as a member of a military family, it can sometimes be hard to feel comfortable or at home with people that don't really understand the experiences you've been through. But at Wentworth, that thought never really even occurred to me. As soon as I enrolled at the institution, my first contact was with the Military Connected Services office. They made the transition into college absolutely seamless for me, answering all of my questions, even issues with registration or my computer. Through the tight-knit community of veterans and military-connected students here at Wentworth, I have managed to find my footing in a new environment, make friends, and even get a job. I feel supported in all my endeavors by the Wentworth veterans community and look forward to seeing what I can accomplish while such a great group of individuals has my back.
you.